It could have happened to anybody, but it didn't. It happened to us. Okay, boys, let's rock the house.
So I just got done watching The Dirt, the Motley Crue biopic, and honestly, thought it was phenomenal. I thought it lived up to the hype and the wait. A lot of people said it glossed over things. It did, but I'm a Motley Crue fanboy anyway, so Nicholas Booth as Nicky Six was a great casting choice. Not really sure how to pronounce the guy that played Mick Mars' name, but he did the most deadpan, absolute defect to Mick Mars. And let's not forget about Colson Baker, aka Machine Gun Kelly, as Tommy Lee. That was a great casting choice as well. You know, Machine Gun Kelly being like 6'2", and Douglas Booth also being a very tall person. I read a lot of reviews before I watched the movie just because I've been waiting for this movie for over 10 years. And I will say this, as a Motley Crue fan, it definitely did not disappoint. Yes, I didn't even think they would even mention the self-titled Motley Crue album with John Corabi. They did, though. And that was pretty cool. The sad moments of the movie, everybody, like the reviews I read, it said that it, because of the humor from the first half, it takes away the sting from the second half. And I don't think so at all. Like, honestly, I was bawling like a little girl when, you know, Skylar Grey, you know, her stomach cancer. I was bawling like a little girl. I really was. I watched it with my wife, and my wife kept going, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" I'm like, fine. You know? This is essential for Crue fans to watch. And honestly, it would have been better to see it on a big screen, but it was a little more intimate just because it was just me and my wife watching it. And the opening scene is just so Crue. It's just, hey dudes, check this out. You know? Yes. Colson Baker did a great job as far as Tommy Lee, and Douglas Booth did a great Nicky Six. Again, I'm not really sure how to pronounce the guy that played Mick Mars' name, so I'm not going to. But he did a great Mick Mars, and the guy that played Ozzy, my wife was like, "Oh my God, they did such a good job," because Ozzy comes out and he's got the, you know, the bleached blonde hair, like the Ultimate Sin, Bark at the Moon, you know, like the frosted, they're not really tips, but the frosted hair. And he's just like, "Hey, lads, check this out." The only thing I will say, though, is the fact that they portrayed Razzle as a British guy, and he was definitely not. He was a Finnish dude. Yes. And then also the whole Tommy Lee, Heather Locklear wedding scene. I didn't read about that in the book, that Nicky was so fucked up that, you know, he couldn't even stand up. You know, and that was really cool. You know, it obviously, Motley Crue being producers on the film, maybe that was something that was left out of the book, that maybe they looked back in hindsight and said, hey, maybe we should have put that in there. because Nikki Sixx was fucked up, you know, in the mid-'80s. And it obviously came to a head on December 27th, 1987. Just the fact that, you know, like, the EMS driver is like, I'm not letting Nikki Sixx die in my ambulance. The guy's like waiting to call it. It's like, let's call it. It's like, no, this is not happening. You know who this is? This is Nikki fucking Sixx from Motley Crue. And yeah, it was well worth the wait. And honestly, I think Netflix did a great job. Jeff Tremaine did a great job directing it. I'm not really sure offhand the writers' names, but honestly, they did the book justice. And yes, I was really waiting for it. And sometimes you see movies that are just so built up that it doesn't meet expectations. This totally met my expectations of the movie. And like I said, ever since Larry Charles was supposed to direct it, the director of Borat and Bruno was originally slated to direct The Dirt, and he stepped down because of all the bullshit with MTV Films and Paramount. And honestly, like, this is one of the best biopics I've seen, and it probably is because I'm such a Crue fan, but it really did have that, you know, a lot of reviews I've read said they glossed over everything, and how the first half is all fun and games and the second half is dark and it becomes even more laughable than the first half. I didn't think that at all. I thought the actors did a fine job, excellent job. And it's, you know, and just the fact that I've been waiting all day to see this movie. Like, I was at work and just like waiting with bated breath till 4 o'clock when I got off work to see this movie, and actually it got pushed back, you know, until about 6 or so. If you're a Crue fan, definitely check out The Dirt. I'm sure you already have if you are. But honestly, yeah. Everybody keeps comparing it to Bohemian Rhapsody. I thought Bohemian Rhapsody was a little boring in some spots. The Dirt does not get boring in any moment in the movie. And yes, you have virtual unknown. They're not really unknown, you know, like the guy that plays Mick Mars apparently was in Game of Thrones. I was never a fan. Nicholas Booth, not really I don't really know who he is. The guy that plays Vince Neil, no clue. The only person I know in the cast is Colson Baker. But dude, come on, dude. I want to watch the fucking movie again. Because I just thought it was a great fucking movie. And it really encapsulates the 80s, very much so. I wasn't really there. You know, I was born in 1982. Too Fast for Love. What? But yes, I've been rambling for about 8 minutes and 30 seconds now. And I really hope you guys enjoy The Dirt as much as I did, because I really thought it was a great movie. I thought it was... I actually went into it thinking it was too short. And honestly, I really didn't think... I thought Jeff Tremaine put that out there. You know, he made the story he wanted to make, along with the members of the crew. And I thought it was a great movie. You know, I didn't think it was too short. They really just, you know, they did gloss over some things, but honestly, overall, I thought it was a great fucking movie. So this is Libby Jones from The Exploitation Experience talking about The Dirt. And I hope you guys all enjoy it as much as I did, because I thought it was a great fucking